Alpha OneTV Haruna ban sama edin so beto other platforms no Haruna ni nyine twegu nti se nko ba bia wa subscribe no bomodin so be subscribe my so saka bia no ma share like ama oni aso ye nya bia tin so bredi yemfi ni nchim ni enka de won chairman ye nyine nim the massive victory a AGM poli ni victory no microphone be boa na ma na adwuma parliamentarians na right now as speaking no John Dramani Mahama ni MPs no omanya more than 2/3 and still counting. So see no breaking news about beto Ghana say the next speaker for the 9th parliament no see ni atemo asem ayi benya akonya eti honorable Iddrisu Haruna Iddrisu and just ombabe ayi electing and as appointing as the next speaker. Na my NPP for no popuye pa na we na sema abeto dwe official Haruna Iddrisu na nkasa na eden aba bontin aba beka ho asem bekwa kwetisi no sika no na after that no or say big powers bi na eden pushing is onkonko yesade no omo no hwan mo to Forson kujito ablakwa Mahama yarga and some big names be already okekaka afins or chere kwanya Mahama be faso taxes be Newz and taxes everywhere just Ghana for your just any bejipa to get her in Iddrisu as a speaker and to help NDC MPs and AGM in Yas and Katoen Koninkuti in some matches or cacao.
We will rule with it is possible, but we will rule with President Mahama resetting Ghana. The economy is in dire state, terrible economic conditions, but the transition should reveal and expose many of the wrongs of this administration and then let us know the true state of the Ghanaian economy. Where are we with debt? Where are we with inflation? Where are we with commitments that have not been cleared by government? President Mahama will sanitize all that. At least before you get to know the real situation through this transition process, we do know that inflation is over 23%, am I right? Unacceptably high. We also do know that unemployment is 14.7%. Debt is over 700 billion Ghana
Those are the sins of Nana Addo Dankwa.
And I remember you saying just a few days ago that this outgoing government had handed the incoming government a very difficult economy. Yeah. Yet in the midst of all of this, we've seen the promises of the incoming government.
President Mahama will naturally renegotiate the IMF extended credit facility, and probably he would work to secure an investment of up to $2 billion US. If he's able to do that, because remember, he cannot borrow that outside the concessionary loans that he'll get. Ghana may not be able to go commercial in terms of our borrowing. But the new Patriotic Party government of Nana Addo Dankwa was simply just reckless and irresponsible with borrowing, even though they campaigned that they were superior managers of the economy, better managers of the economy.
A comment you made about the Nyankpala one, you suggested that fortunately the media was able to capture a lot of the things on record.
In fact, TV3 which got the IGP to act.
Yes.
And because I was high profile, they just couldn't sweep that under the carpet. So we should thank you for that.
It suggested to me that you may not be completely impressed with the performance of the IGP. Is he going to be maintained?
I have not come here to pass judgment on the Inspector General of Police.
Do you know whether he'll be maintained?
That's not why I'm here. I'm not the President of the Republic. John Dramani Mahama will certainly, I don't want to put words even into his mouth, but every president has some, he will pump some energy or overhaul within the advice that is available to him. As I said, the unity, stability of the country is important to President Mahama, and he will seek to work to safeguard that. But as to what he does, let's wait. I mean, the most important thing now is when Parliament comes back, Parliament must, as matter of urgency, look at appropriation, no, expenditure in lieu of appropriation. We have to get a country running, and Parliament, regardless of what the differences may be as to who is majority or minority.
But it's
I
clear
think
now,
that
isn't it?
natural factors have resolved that. So maybe we should have more peace and ease looking into the future. But Parliament has to get, you can't have a budget until there is a policy program of President Mahama. That will take some time, January, February, March, when he constitutes his government. But we have to pass what we call the expenditure in lieu of appropriation pursuant to Article 179 of the Constitution. Allows some expenditure that are urgent to be accommodated within it. I'm sure probably that may be one of the factors motivating Speaker Bagbin. And I've seen TV3 even do a short list of Haruna Iddrisu to be Speaker. I'm not interested in becoming Speaker of Parliament.
So which ministerial appointment are you
gunning for? I don't know. I'll serve the President in any capacity he deems fit. But as I said, even in the 8th Parliament, I saw the Honorable Uṛgeṣ Black, Honorable Yerga, Atu Forson, Honorable Amabua, and a group. They were urging me to run for Speaker. I disappointed them that I was not interested in being Speaker of Parliament.
Speaker is number 3 in our Constitution. But perhaps others have also suggested you want presidency.
I'm happy in my role as Member of Parliament for Tamale South. I've always said that I don't know tomorrow, and therefore
you don't want the presidency.
My eye is on the ball, but I don't know about tomorrow.
So it's likely we may see you run for president.
It's also likely I may not live to see tomorrow. What about that?
But you haven't answered the question, actually.
And I say I may not live to see tomorrow, so leave that to leave that to fate.
So I should take that as a no.
God,
that you're not looking forward to.
I say leave that to fate. My eye is on the ball.
Your eye, which ball?
I say my eye is on the ball.
Which ball?
My eye is on the ball. If you are watching a football match, watch how the football is.
There are a lot of balls, so which of them?
I say my eye is on the ball. But I'm not sure that I'll live to see tomorrow, so I'm not worried about tomorrow.
You're not worried about tomorrow?
I have today, yeah.
You haven't answered the question, but
I said I have today.
I will move on.
So Ghana arguably is going to go through another successful seamless transition, which will remarkably or incredibly add to Ghana's standing as a worthy democracy of a kind. Ghana's democracy will remain a better example for many African countries. We've seen transition of power from one political party to the other, from the other government to the other. But John Dramani Mahama will exert accountability. That is what the Ghanaian people expect him to do.
Exert accountability.
And you're talking about Nyankwala.
Before I go to Nyankpala,
hold on,
Mr. Iddrisu, before I go to Nyankpala, I was going to ask you about all these things that are already in place, even before you see the reality on the ground. And yet there are a lot of promises in terms of tax cuts and some quote-unquote freebies, as it were, as promises within the 120 days.
There's no freebies.
Well,
John Dramani Mahama will honor his commitment to the Ghanaian people as expressed in the manifesto of the NDC.
If you just allow me to land, he's talking about scrapping levy, COVID-19, the 10% levy on bet winnings. He's talking about emission levy. I know he's also looking at taxes on imported vehicles for industrial and agricultural purposes, all of these things that are coming in. And you've already admitted that this economy is difficult. How is he going to get that done?
Notwithstanding, to borrow the words of the MPP again, President Mahama is coming to do away with nuisance taxes. There are nuisance taxes. I mean, e-levy, we're told, will bring in 6.9 billion. That's not the case. It's not achieved that. And President Mahama is committed to growing the digital sector of our economy. I anticipate that President Mahama will have a minister responsible for his 24-hour economy, with some budget to get it going and to get light manufacturing sector supported and strategic industry across the country that will generate employment to address unemployment, which itself is of great concern to him as president. Now, yes, all these pledges will be honored.
One other thing that the NDC has been championing has been the Operation Recoverall. There are some people who express doubt about it. How is the NDC going to do that? I know you're targeting the National Cathedral.
No. I mean, look at National Cathedral. You don't keep God in a deceptive mood. You can't deceive God. So even that, you remember, at an opportunity here, we said that even Nana Addo Dankwa cannot honor his promise to God. He promised God a cathedral, and he could have done it in a much more smarter manner than using public funds. When he came to Parliament and we asked him questions about it, we were told that no public resources will be used for that purpose. He could have used the private sector. You can get corporate sector, even corporate responsibility to support that. Now, you cannot have $38 million sit down in that hole. You have Palugu factory where $12 million we can build a clinic anywhere from any rural community. So when President Mahama talks about recovery of loot, it will be a systematic process. Believe me, many public and civil servants are beginning to talk to the president and reach out to many of his officials and sharing very critical information.
Do I hear you say that as part of the constitutional review that you're going to do, perhaps you may want to touch the immunity that protects presidents so that the outgoing president could be held accountable for this national cathedral?
No.
For instance?
President John Dramani Mahama is not coming to pursue President Nana Addo Dankwa. No, that's not part of his aspirations. He's coming to govern Ghana. He respects the office of the president and the office of the former president, but he would exact accountability in a manner that satisfies the request of the Ghanaian electorate and in accordance with law.
In other words, he's not going to witch hunt.
No, it's not a personal issue for him, no.
It's not a personal attack, as it were. I'm not using your word.
It is not a personal issue or personal vendetta for President John Dramani Mahama. Not at all.
How would you rate
He would want to keep the unity and stability of the country, but he would exact accountability.
How would you rate the performance of the
public servants did not use public resources well, and public resources find itself in wrong hands. It's only appropriate and lawful that he recovers that. How will I rate what?
I was going to go to the IGP, but I want to stay a bit longer on the judiciary bit. And the concern is that
Inspector General of Police, his performance overall or his performance before, during, and the process of the election.
I'm just asking a question.
There's law and order in Ghana. I think that we should measure that by the incidence of crime, and the incidence of recidivism is what we should look at. He's done his best. At least there's peace in the country. Crime rate is low. I'm not too satisfied with some of his performance at the election. I mean, for instance, but I'm told that the persons who were involved in the shooting in Nyankpala have been brought to Accra. They should, and they would face the full rigors of the law. I mean, I'm a candidate and an interested person. I don't walk to a polling station with a pencil or a pen in my hand.
And I know
why would you carry a weapon or a gun into a polling station? That is not allowed. That is criminal. And then when you journalists and the media say elections are free and fair, you must have an understanding of what it means to be free. Free from fear. When you shoot at a polling station, then that election cannot be described as being free and fair. It must be free from fear. The electorate must have the confidence to go and vote the way they like. Some are scared away with gunshots. They may probably will not walk back even to the polling station. What happened in Nyankpala, and eventually it probably may have affected the outcome of the elections in Tolong generally. Nyankpala is a stronghold. We all know that Tolong used to be our seat. And why gunshot? I'm told that the regional organizer of the MPP and some others were in some Land Cruiser which had some of those weapons. Even me, I think that my bodyguard and aide also facilitated the arrest of a vehicle which contained arms, which was meant for Myang Yendi, that road. We managed to ground that vehicle. I'm sure I'll share the videos with your team.
I don't know whether...
And you appreciate the extent to which some persons were determined to unleash fear and violence on their political opponent. That is not the way to be.
When the incident happened and you spoke to us earlier, you said that it was coming from the MPP because the party was so hungry to stop at nothing.
Power.
Exactly.
You know, I just don't talk. At the time I was talking, I knew the persons behind, and I'm still following the police to see what they do, because, you know,
you are now in a digital world. There are videos, there are pictures, there are persons who were running who still were able to film. And therefore, the police must administer justice.
The Information Minister Fatima to Abubakar spoke to the media some minutes ago. He said that she said there's no evidence that the violence going around the country is being done by NPP
so
supporters.
To Fatima, you are minister, be honorable. The violence in Nyankwala Tolong was MPP.
Honorable Haruna Iddrisu dear wakasa papa ni semo kano we ne friend a good leader. We ne friend said he be more can almost say nkrofo we be wa ye from dishonorable nom do mudia ye den account. But we don't get dishonorable. We friend the definition of honorable like or kasa with sense. Nyansa woni nsemo ye de okanim. Nti yine tie ni nsemo odi tu dana. Honorable Haruna Iddrisu and I just say watch ni semu yi say Ghana for a year dear pass on to a year president a year of every ho because the actions like you see kasa arrogant and ni bonia or so impunity like ni head to toe ni nyemu ye bie no wa esefata and no ena mani followers so I the esusia you can't followers are nye NPP fans and as a grassroots the followers ni MPs the ministers cabinet ministers the Crawford na omoboano man Gavin Ayomino and no mo so I the esusia si be hwe e ya fenyu marking for example what the net to a year or say chairman sabonso na enyi Fenyu marking and Oseche Mensa Bunsu. Difference near gap like gap on the son, difference in the son. Intino or say followers and I say Uncle Father followers no almost since you only that one. Omon drink Ghana from home. Ghana and kind corner, they are against it. Omo Ghana Kosrono, ne yomu ya no musugu omuyem. Ombinya na chese nyina ya adwene e kete na nkomanya kwan atete Ghana for edi Ghana so how much as bibia yin den imbedi omo side. Wow, just imagine a country like Ghana without NDC on bedding ebe compete these people ye huna manen ke nyina be to every Ghana. But Oshe NDC for pushed since enye Mahama nkwanwo since as compared to a year NPP for pushed since up to date young compare and contrast omuye nkrofo omuye mamboye for papa nyema ebe bo man no omuktia omukasetia pofado vote awanyano Onasa Kufado Baumia vote on in this election and it define omo performances. Professor Chese Kufado and Baumia elections result here both the presidency, both the parliamentary no. And when I describe it omo result and I say performances and they describing in to get 81 MPs represent NPP. And NPP go. Oh, the whole Ghana, more MPC 81. I feel a year con, fini be butu, fini be soon. Oh, just say, na Ghana Friday, 8 or more Cassini city. Now, the almost say, I can chase a back a bam almost on Crana is yes, some near me be a cock or sonny, some to be a total to tree, and my this running whom be share Ghana for more. Cassidy be see a vote yet here by we free and fair pound or Cassino be see a vote yet here by we so and there Cassie a year Mahama and a lot of NDC MPs and many a lot of NDC MPC automatically speak and be free NDC. Yes. Many a lot of NDC MPs, automatically speaker or begin a year parliament no ebe free NDC enko free MPP for nkwa na set record some administration omo into power no power no more no omo speaker another speaker ejina mum ebo omo for government business no eko free the other side only ade Kesi comedian omusua nyansa yede efrim na due to arrogant intino omontena se emfahwe ho eyeye de omope bia ema sisi no eniema ayede adane ayede amomo ho chiro. So said the no a lot of NDC MPs in a parliament to tell they are nodding. So I have to forcing okujeta blackwa Mahama Yariga top notch more experience ewo a parliament no omo the greatest respect ama Haruna Iddrisu omo push Haruna Iddrisu convincing no konye true convincing kon ejeno omo ejeno say onkonkoye the next speaker for Ghana just say e good news pa just say nyasin keto Haruna becoming the next speaker for Ghana no obe discipline afenyo marking come said the afenyo marking sorry or kasa Haruna versus afenyo marking no ebe fed afenyo marking be popo na no onso so ni me bia sebi ihunu se ya na abambabin etimisu so afenyo marking so no wo sisi no position awoda no general syndicate and as a chairman syndicate head opposition amount or from micro minority leader chese o followers are kete so no ka be minority leader krampa ka Haruna Iddrisu untime no there is wa be micro be da kasa o kasa e o tenase so as you speak no Haruna Iddrisu akasa yipa na any position in parliament no wa chere say the name be dey besi akọ comment section or dey subscribe na share ma onya so dey insan ka bi so for menko ba bia